be starting the recording very soon. So welcome once again. This is just a brief overview of how our session is going to go this afternoon. We're going to have some time to, listen to the speaker, hear what he has to say. There's going to be a breakout session, and the idea of this breakout session is for us to not just work on something, but for us to interact with each other and just have some time out to hear one of the things we're going to be discussing is a personal development plan. Because in my own experience, I've had plans for things and I did not get to the end of it. So it's going to be a practical session where we'll be translating the things that we've learned from the speaker to an actual project or something very practical. Because one of the things we intend to do in these sessions is to equip people with practical tools that will position them for success. So we want you to stay tuned even down to the end because you're going to enjoy the session so much. Um, a little bit of intro about Inspire Africa for those who are just joining us for the first time. Our core aim and our mission at Inspire Africa is to create a safe community for African women to, connect, learn, grow from each other. We know that there is a huge gap in this area where people don't really have a community where they can learn things. And there are things that you learn from school, but there are also other things that you pick up that are really crucial for your own growth and development. And that's what we intend to do. And that's our mission at Inspire Africa. So we do this for now, our plan is to do this in various ways, but one of the major ways we do that at the moment is through our mentorship program. So currently we have a mentorship program where um, we try to provide young women with the tools that they need for their own growth so that they can be able to thrive in the larger society. Because I feel like there's been a very huge narrative about Africa. And one of the things we endeavor to do is to change that narrative, to be able to equip people to change that narrative. So we currently have a 6 months mentorship program, and our mentors and mentees have largely been very awesome. And we look forward and we hope that you're able to follow us up on different social media platforms and get a glimpse of what we do. So a little bit of housekeeping on how today's meeting is going to go. I would encourage you to please mute your mic when you're not speaking. As I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, this meeting is recorded, and what we're going to be doing with that is just to put it on our social media platforms. I mean, we've had people go back to rewatch these webinars because of how valuable they are, and it will be an opportunity for you to also go and rewatch, right? Because there could be things that you would pick up again the second or the third time you rewatch it. So if you have a question, we ask that you kindly raise up your hand. There's a little icon. If you toggle on the reaction pane down, you're going to see a little icon to raise up your hand, and then your questions will be answered. If you don't want to ask questions directly, please just feel free to drop your questions in the chat box, and your questions will definitely be answered. We would love to see your faces. I think that, having those interactions, I mean, we're all virtually, we're different faces, but seeing your faces adds humanity to what we're doing. So if you're comfortable with, you can turn on your camera, and it kind of helps also the speaker. And I think, since I said we're virtual, right? You can clap your hands, there are icons, they are just reaction bars, just to get, help us know that we are feeling or you are feeling what we're saying. So you can use the reaction button for that. And we encourage you to engage in all of our activities. As I said, there'll be a practical session for us to run through some of the things that we've talked about or the things we're discussing. So I'm happy that our guest is here. So I'll just run through um, what we have for today and go straight to the point. So welcome very much, Precious. I was just filling people in on different things about how today's session will go. We're looking forward to having more people join us as the session goes on. So um, I want everyone to welcome our speaker for today. Precious is a very dear friend of mine. We've been friends for, I think, more than 10 years now. So I'm really excited for him, the fact that he's here. And one of the things that I really admire about Precious is his growth and his ability to work towards building himself to becoming a better version of himself. I think I shared on social media that I would rather be surprised if Precious is not where he is today, because this is all I've known him to be. He's someone that is passionate about um, helping people master self-leadership, someone that is very passionate about being a life coach, being encouraging people to be a better version of themselves. So Precious has a lot of things. He is a master communicator, he's a leadership coach, he's also a medical professional and an investor. He's a graduate from Nnamdi Azikiwe University, which is where we became friends as a medical laboratory scientist. And then he followed up with his master's in public health in the University of Adelaide in Australia. As I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, Precious is very, very, very passionate about human development, personal leadership, growth, and he has taken various trainings and, he is someone that I know that once he has an aim to do something, he goes to achieve it. Precious is currently married to a doctor and they're expecting a baby in a few months. So if you want a tip on how to get it all, Precious is one of the persons that will be able to do that. And he's a Christian. He has someone that is deeply family oriented, and his key goal or his aim is summarized in this, that the fact that he's a product of many trainings and mentorship, but his life has been to show God's faithfulness to a determined soul. And he believes that he was born for such a time as this. And I re-echo that. So, Precious, I'll be handing over to you. Thank you so much for gracing our platform. We know that there's a huge time difference, so thank you for making the sacrifice to be here. So I'll stop now and hand over to you. You're mute. Your mic is muted.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I'm thank you so much, Oli, for the opportunity. When it came up, thank you so much. And it's been an amazing journey, and thank you guys for showing up. I believe everyone that is in this meeting is ready for something really great in this 40 minutes time that is going to happen. But I want to show you something. My objective for today, because when I looked at this conference, when you only shared it with me, one of the things that I really focused on was basically on what really attracted me was on, it was more about, like I saw I tried to check the vision of the organization. I tried to say that you are like, one of the things I checked up, I saw that you wrote something like becoming leaders in the professional, is it professional space? Yeah, professional space, safe space for the African woman to blossom. And not just that, it's just for the African women, but also a bit of mix for, give that ecosystem for the African male. So today I'm going to be focusing definitely on first of all, I also want to thank every team, like anybody who have been involved with the management of Inspire Africa. I'm really grateful for this opportunity. Thank you so much. So right away, if you're here, I want you to give me a thumbs up. Like, give me a thumbs up, thumbs up. Like, my teaching sections are crazy, so it's unconventional. But I wanna show you that in the next 40 minutes, your life is gonna change, and I mean it. All right. So what I'm about to share with you are things that I believe that will help you to scale your life from level 5 to level 10, from level 1 to level 10. All right. So it's experiential knowledge. I'm sharing something that I have practiced. It's my life. All right. So today I'm going to be focusing on the theme of this event is on personal development, mastering leadership from within. All right. So the topics of some of the points I'm going to be touch basing will start from how to go concept of personal development, strategies of personal development, tools for personal development, and also how to do with the personal development as has to do with entrepreneurship, interwoven, towards your career progression. All right, so, and I'm aware of the audience. All right, so, and let's start running. Okay, so first of all, I would like to start with an exercise, a very simple exercise. At the end of this exercise, this system, question answer session, I want you to actually, I'll ask about it and you tell me what it is. So right away, let's use 1 minute and do this. Now, close your eyes, everybody. Close your eyes, everybody. Now, tell me, what do you want out of life? Don't write it. Just envision it. It's a simple, it's a simple question I just asked you right now. What do you want out of life? Let's start with that. What do you want out of life? Now, if you can, I don't want you to write it down yet. I mean, envision it. So I'm counting down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So now you have envisioned that. Hold that. Now write it somewhere. Just one. I don't want 2 lines. I want one line. What do you want out of life? It might be something that is really big, but generic. Some people can say, I want a life full of happiness. That's fine. We're coming to that. All right. So if you have written it down, now keep it for yourself and hold it. All right. Very important. Okay. So let me start. I want to start by talking about personal development, because most people talk about personal development as it has to do with, the world as it goes, like self-growth and all of that. Yeah, there are a lot of things about that. But for me, I will talk about personal development from a holistic approach. All right. So first of all, I want you to know that, write this down. Your life is an institution. Your life is an institution. You have to treat your life like an institution. Now, what does that mean? That means that every institution has pillars that guide it, right? So it means that you have your spiritual life, you have your emotional life, you have your relationship life, you have your career life, you have your social life, your socioeconomic life, you have your financial life. All right. So your life, it's actually an institution. So what personal development does to you is to become a good life administrator. So you see why leadership is important. So you become a life administrator. So what personal development does to you is to be able to make you a good administrator. So sometimes you see some quote out there, people say, oh, you're the CEO of your life. You are the CEO of your life. They're saying something really good there. So it's important to have a holistic approach. So you must see your life as an institution, because you don't want to have unbalanced life. So there are so many people who have unbalanced life. It means that one part of my life is good and the other is actually going through a lot of things. No, but there's a place you can come to where you have balance in everything you're doing. And that is what personal development does, because personal development is intentional. So I want to start by quoting Leo Boscalia. All right, Leo Boscalia. So he says something I love so much. He said, "Your talent, your abilities is God's gift to you. What you do with it, it is your gift back to God." All right. So, and I also want to quote Van Bertenson. He says something like, he said, "What you are in God's gift, like whatever God has given to you, is what you become." So it says, what you are is God's gift to you, and what you become is your gift to God. What you become is your gift to God, right? What you become is your gift to God. So go to the comment section in this and just type something so I know you guys are following. So what you are is a gift to God and to the universe, all right? So for me, my personal view of personal development is that personal development is a decision to change one's life by developing your abilities, your leadership traits, your talent, your skills, and your strength. Now, mark the word. Personal development is a decision. So you have to decide. So when you talk about decision have to do with your willpower. You're right. I don't want to start talking about the soul and all emotion and all that, but it has to do with your willpower. So it is your decision to decide to change your life. It's in your hands, baby. It's in your hands. Nobody's gonna do that for you. It's in your hands to change your life. Oh my goodness. Like, is that not the greatest thing to hear right now? That you are, like, it's in your hands. It takes decision. So he says, it's like, so certain man said something I love so much. He said, it is decision that makes great people. So you have to decide in this like symposium to tell yourself that I am going to, get into the school of learning, get into the school of personal development, and start working on my strengths, on my abilities. All right. So it says, another one I love so much. It says, personal development also have to do with, this is what I find out. It has to do with finding your positive strengths and abilities and developing them. All right. So it means upgrading to different versions of yourself in life, something that is in alignment with your life calling, purposes, your career ambition. So it means that there are some things in your life right now that you think that you want based on the thing that I've told you to write down. But the version of you right now cannot have it because you don't have the capacity yet to be actually getting to those stages of your life. If I'm rushing, I'm so sorry, but I'm done with time. All right. So there's a version of you that is meant for the king's place. There's a version of you that's meant for the queen's place. There's a version of you that's meant for that, for business people, for that amount of money, that $1 million, like that $1 million. All right. There's a version of you that is meant for that woman that you want to become, for that great lady that you want to become. There's a version of you that you need to evolve. And the tool that you need to make it happen is personal development. Now, personal development, what personal development is not is this. It's not about age, it's not about height, it's not about physical or physiological appearance, whatever we call it, but it's more about the most important tool for personal development is a transformative tool. It's called the mind. All right. So it takes a lot because your mind is what begins the whole process to engineer it for your personal development. I think I've given a lot of my concept on personal development. I could go on and on and on, but I have to work with time. So remember what I asked you. I asked you a simple question. What do you want out of life? Just keep it with you. All right. Because this will help you to circumvent, to know where you need to work on, areas you need to focus on, how you can be able to, acknowledge yourself and now grow up. All right. Because most times the problem is that people don't know where to work on. People don't know what to read. People don't know what to focus on. And that has really, lingered most people. Now, let me tell you a little bit of story because I like to involve stories in my sessions. So I remember some years ago, I used to write something on paper. I'll write like, this is my personal life. I like to talk about my personal life because it's like, this is me. So I'll come on my ceiling. I'll write something like, some people know that some specific things I want to do in my life. And some of them look like a joke as I was writing it down. It looked like a story. All right. But the funny thing is that with time, I discovered that there are things that I needed to do for me to be able to get to those places, get to those things. And one of the things that I needed to do was what I'm about to talk about, paying the price. Now, when it comes to personal development, I'm talking about strategies now. One of the things you need to understand is that you have to be able to find out areas that you need to work on. Remember, I said to you, your life is an institution. So I'm really trying to, this is my thing. So I'm trying to really, block off anything, but there's some things in me that are like saying, yeah. So I'm trying to say something that I'm gonna spend like 2 hours doing. I'm saying it in 40 minutes. So it's not fair. It's just all right. So personal development. All right. So personal development is important. So one of the strategies of personal development is that number one, you need to be able to know what areas you need to develop in. The areas that you need to work on is very important. Now listen to this quote by Jim Rohn. He says, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. It means that your life, the more you work harder on your own self, the most important thing is to work harder on yourself, and it will help you to evolve to the best kind of person you can ever be. The gift you can give to anybody, even to your partner, your friend, whoever, to inspire her Africa, to another person, whatever it is not self-sacrifice. Self-sacrifice is good. It brings content. But the best gift you can give is a superior version of yourself, is to be able to tell yourself self-growth, personal development, because I want to see my friend growing into something better every day. All right. I want to see that business evolving. I want to see something grow. All right. That's the best gift you can give to people. The best gift I can give to you is the superior version of myself. All right. So that's why you need to take what I'm saying very seriously. So find out areas of your life that you think you want to work on. So second exercise, what area of your life right now are the things that you need to work on? Your spiritual life, your financial life, whatever. Write it down. Right now, the ones you can remember, I can help you guys. Financial life, spiritual life, emotional life, social life, your career life, your what do you call it, your family life. If you're a married person, your marriage. I've mentioned a few. So write it down. Write it down. Write it down. What areas of your life, you might not find everything right now, but just make a short whatever. Write it down. I believe you have a notepad. All right. So write it down. Write it down. Write it down. Very important. Very important. Write it down. So if you have written it down, the second thing is what price am I willing to pay? Let me tell you the problem we have right now. Most people have this euphoria. I was speaking somewhere and I said to people have so much beauty in like, oh, I find out what I want to do in my life. I found out the vision. I find out the goals. I find out areas that I'm going to work. Oh, I'm going to work on this. I'm going to work on this. I'm going to start reading 2 books every month. I know how to get this. I know how to get that. You're going to do research. Go to my master's. Go to my PhD. So they're so embedded in it. So there's this euphoria with the joy of the vision, the joy of the dreams, that they forget the place of paying the price. Paying the price. That's what makes a difference. Paying the price. Many people know what to do, but the problem is that many people are not willing to get to work. Come on. Many people are not willing to get to work. That's the difference. So see, any place you see great people, I've had opportunity to see the billionaires. I'm not talking about in African currencies. I'm talking about in dollars, right? So I've sat with people that their brains are thinking even when they're sleeping. I've sat with most people and I've asked questions, and I have found out that some of the things that these guys know are actually the simple things that we know, but we are not doing. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. All right. So it's important to constrain with time. So you have to learn how that you have that every vision, everything that has to do with personal development, working on yourself, building yourself as an edifice, because you are an institution, has to do with you have to learn how to pay the price. You have to pay the price for that financial life. You have to pay the price for that, like the physical appearance. Maybe you are working on your and you're going for gymming, you're working on your weight. You have to pay the price of nutrition. Learn going to buy books on nutrition, going to the gym, going to, if you're working on your finances, you have to pay the price to learn. See, self-education is freedom. School gives you a lot of formal education, but self-education is personal development. It's part of it. It is freedom. So if you're talking about your finances, go buy financial books, learn them, take action, get a mentor, get a coach. You want to get into marriage, you want to get into relationship, go do the necessary things that are important. Pay the price. Pay the price, all right? Pay the price, because that is what changes everything. Because when you learn how to pay the price for what you want, it will change ultimately everything. Sometimes when I have coaching session with people, I listen to them a lot, and I discover that they know what to do, but they're not ready, they're not motivated, they're not inspired to pay the price. So that is why I say personal development has to do with a decision. You're tired. You get tired of where you are. You want to grow. You want to expand. You want to enlarge. So you need to break out from where you are and begin to tell yourself, I will do the right thing, the necessary for me to be able to get what I want. So sometimes you have to check out from some things, check out from some habits. All right. So it's very important. It's very, very important. The second one is the price is different for everyone. So all of us cannot be going to the same place. Everybody gets into the plane, but we're going to different destinations. We might be landing in Lagos, Addis Ababa. We might be landing in Rwanda. We might be landing in Ethiopia, whatever country we are landing in. But it's different destination for everybody. Everybody is going to different places. So, which means the price to pay is different for everybody. And that brings me to this. That is brings me to the place of learning in this new community, this global community that we're building, that things are working differently. All right. So the price to pay is important. Then the last one I want to talk about when it comes to strategies is that you have to know that the price you're paying is progressive. So personal development does not stop. You don't say, oh, I've gotten to the top of the pinnacle. Now I can rest. No, you don't rest. All right? You don't rest. Whatever takes you up sustains you there. And then whatever sustains you there, you actually have to work on that level to actually move to the next level. You have to actually add, like do more. All right? So it's progressive. It's not stationary. It's not something that is stagnant. All right. So please then send me a message if I'm going too fast. All right, I can't really see a lot of things here. Okay, so the next one I want to talk about is, now I talked about becoming a good administrator. So that's how it has to do with leadership. All right, so I'm going to chip it in because I'm being strategic with time. Now, what is leadership? Many people talk about leadership that, leadership this, leadership that, and all of that. So leadership begins with you. It's as simple as leading your life. Now, if you wake up every morning and you don't have an agenda for your day, you are a bad leader. I'm very serious with you. I'm very sure right now. Come on, baby. See, if you wake up right now, like today, and you don't have an agenda for the day, I'm not joking with you. You are joking with your life. Do you know why? Because people who actually make news, people who make news, making like do exploit, these are people who actually understand what the day holds for them. So that is leadership. Don't wait for me to start putting one big thing. I'm gonna give you some definitions, but that is like practical. So, do you have plans for today? What is your time schedule like? How do you treat time? All right. So it's important you understand these things. Now, I want to talk about these, what the pillars of personal development. This is not, I didn't plan to say it, but I have to put it down because if I don't say them, number one is pillars of personal development. You have to have a value system. A value system. If you don't have a value system, you will succumb to pressure, peer pressure, life pressure. You get into competition, you go to social media, you see people driving driving and living in big houses, or you come back to your room, you're depressed. Oh my God, what's happening to me? I'm not, but come on, you're moving forward. You have to have your personal values, build your personal value. You have to take out time. You have to tell yourself, okay, this is the kind of person I want to be. These are the things I value. These are the things I don't value. Okay. So that when you appear in places, when people even give you some certain things or do some certain things to you, you're going to say, like, no, these are not my values. Okay, this is my value. So you have to be able to, and those things align with your vision for life. The second thing is you have to understand your strength. Understand your strength. These are your pillars of personal development. Understand your strength and build them so much. Then find out areas that you need to improve on. And that is the places that you need to work on. I don't like calling them weaknesses. I call them the areas you need to work on. All right, because weaknesses has been labeled as something else on the site today. So these are areas you need to work on, and that's how it's going to happen. Number three is value relationship. These are pillars of personal development. Value relationships. Relationships are the things that see. Relationship is a currency of life. It is even bigger than the money you are looking for because money is just paper. I don't know what I'm talking about, but relationship changes everything. I am here because I have a relationship with the coordinator of this, with the head, with the person heading the executive director of this, Chidemoli. I have a relationship with her. That is why I'm here. All right. So value relationship. I won't go deep into that because they're attached to it. Number three is your economy and support system. You need to understand your finances and your support system. No, the finance is the aspect of you talking about your money, your portfolio, where you are at the moment. Checking out how you can increase yourself. Then the other one is your support system, which like your support system include your family. Like, who are the people that you know that if something happens to you right now, they're gonna be there for you. They're gonna stick out their neck for you. All right. You might have 10,000 people follow your social media. The day something happens to you, you're troubled. You're just your wife. You and your wife and a few friends are just there. So you see that. Very important. So take note of it. Habits. So what habit are you going to build right now that will help you to move to the next level? What habits are you going to build right now? Then also, what habit is stopping you? What habit is stopping you? Very important. Then you have what we call mental stamina. That's emotional health. Some people don't, in Africa, we don't value emotional health. Oh my God. Like it's crazy. Many people are going through mental health and they call it many different things, many sicknesses, but it's mental health. And because Africa, we were not taught that a lot, that some things have to do with emotions. So we just see things as many things. Oh, men, you don't have to cry. Oh, women, you have to express yourself, none of that. So anger is an emotion. Happiness is an emotion. And you're human if you're angry, but you have to use it well. All right. There's a lot of things. So this is a conference and this is a short one. Okay. I'm trying to rush. So you have to what we call creative thinking. Be taking this down. Creative thinking. Creative thinking is empowering thyself. Oh man, empower thyself. That's how I say it. Oh man, which is male and female. Empower thyself. So think about how can you empower yourself? Reading books, going to conferences, what you're doing right now, very important. Now, evaluate yourself. Now, this is where people don't get it. Every great person, they ask Bill Gates, how did you stay on? How do you do this? Elon Musk said that every production they do, they have to evaluate the weaknesses, evaluate where they did well, evaluate where they didn't do well. Learn to evaluate yourself. Tell yourself the truth. Have a conference with yourself. Look at that mirror and say, am I doing well? Let me even be honest. Like, am I doing well? Because there's what we call sycophants. They are part of your life. You might not know these are people that are around you. You can call them your acquaintances, but you know that you're not doing well, but they won't have the ability to tell you you're not doing well. So you need some kind of level of, like, to trust yourself, to look at yourself in the mirror and always tell yourself that have what we call moment of truth. Moment of truth. I do that a lot. And when I do it, I like to buy yogurt and put it on my side, because at the end of the day, I know that most times I am not doing well. Out there, people are clapping for me, but I know I am not doing well at my level. Right? Then you have accountability and reward systems. I'm glad this is a mentoring group. Accountability and reward systems is something you need for your life. You need to be accountable to someone. You need to be, you need to be reward. Let me tell you why accountability and reward systems are important. Everything I'm saying today is going to help you. But if you don't have accountable and build a reward system for yourself, it's going to, you won't have sustainability. Accountability brings sustainability. All right. Imagine telling me you're going to be reading one book in a month. I'm going to really stick my head now to be sure you read it every single day, right? Now, another one is reward systems. Learn how to reward yourself. When you do the right things, reward yourself. So this is the end of the pillars of personal development. Now, what are the strategies of personal development? So as tools and strategies, that's what I'm going to be talking about. Tools and strategies. Dima, how far have I gone, please?
I think you have 10 more minutes or 10 to 15 more
Okay,
minutes.
okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, okay, okay. All right, guys. So as much as possible, like, this is the problem we have, like, too much book. All right, a lot to say. So number one, let's begin practical terms now. So I'm going to go straight to the point. Number one is, what are the three things? What are the three things that you want to achieve in your life right now? So I already told you one thing to do, but I want you to write it down. Now, the next thing is, how can you begin to start your personal development journey? Number one, have a routine for your life. Number one, have a routine for your life. A routine simply means when you wake up, when you sleep, how what you eat is important. Watch all those things. Those details make your life. So set a standard for your life. So set a routine. Routine simply means how you wake up, when you sleep, like your daily goals, like how you plan yourself. Number two is set goals. I just told you right now that if you don't start your day by setting a goal, you have already failed. All right. So set goals. Your goals can be one year goal, 3 months goal, quarterly. For me, I set my goals in the year. I can have 5 goals, and I break it down. I dismember them into quarterly goals. All right. And then quarterly goals, I make it 1 week goals. So every day I'm working towards that goal. Be goal driven. Number three is respect time management. Use your time wisely. If you want to grow, use your time wisely. If you respect time, time will respect you. Time will pay you back big time, because time is the unit of life. If you don't have time, you don't have life. So the most important thing in your life right now is time. And that is the advantage you have in destiny. Now, the fourth one is create your life learning curve. Create your life learning curve. Spend at least 30 minutes 30 minutes a day on learning. I believe every single month you should know, like, this is a topic, and this is what I'm working on. So I am going to acquire knowledge on this aspect. So it could be some people are not good with reading. I'm a fan of, I give people variety. If you say, yeah, I don't want to read, I say, okay, there's YouTube there. All right. You can learn a lot. I can recommend, there's channels that you can go to learn that particular thing you want to learn. Okay. There's also audio, or there's Audible. You can read books by listening to them. So you don't have an excuse to say, I cannot do it, but spend every day at least 30 minutes. I do 1 hour now because based on my level, but you can spend 30 days. It's a drill. Trust me, it's a drill, but your brain will, like, your life will level up. Spend it every day listening to someone who has credible results in that field. All right. It could be in your career life. It could be in where you're going to. Take our time to listen to it, and also take advantage of AI. AI has come to stay. I'm a big fan of AI. All right. I want to, sorry, I want to invest in AI. I want to do a lot of things in AI. So AI has come to stay. And always do that. Then some of the tools I want you to have is just one tool I want you to have because of the time is try to have a journal for your life. Have a notepad, a journal. Like I have a lot of them. One of them, I have to bring one because I'm gonna be talking to you guys. So this is one of them. I could open it for you guys. You see a lot of my day-to-day plans. Have a journal for yourself. Before you sleep in the night, write down the things you want to do the next day. Be very strategic. Evaluate all your goals and set them aside. Right? Plan yourself rightly. Because of the way it is at the moment, I'm just gonna say these things and Dema will take up the platform back, because I wasn't able to talk about leadership at all. So
No,
number
Precious,
one
please go
is
ahead. I think you'd have like 10 more minutes extra. Please go ahead.
okay. So you I'm gonna say these things which are very important. All right, I wrote them down in a very sequential manner, and that is okay. It's not what you get that makes you become that makes you valuable in the process of setting your goals and objectives. So personal development is a place where you evolve. As I say, you're upgrading to a better version of yourself. But the most important thing is, who are you becoming? Is the most important thing. Right now, the question I want to ask you about your life is, who are you becoming in destiny? Who are you becoming? Like, what product are you becoming? Because you need to know that if you set a goal to become something, it means that you are not at the moment at that particular version for the reward of that goal. So when you get into what we call the process of getting that goal, that makes you credible enough. That goal evolves you to become the version of the person who is deserving of that goal. So that is how it works. All right. So I want to just talk about leadership and just a little bit about leadership. And this is where my life. So leadership, John Maxwell, which is one of our fathers, will say leadership is influence. All right, it's about influence. But I bring it down, and I'm going to say it this way. So leadership this is my own personal view of leadership, and I really wanted to listen to how I'm going to share with you because it's going to change your life. So leadership is so you are a leader if you have a purpose and you embrace the responsibility to pursue, to give a pursuit for that purpose, and then to actually follow that purpose. Number one, I repeat again, leadership. You are a leader if you have a purpose and you have what we call you embrace responsibility of that purpose, and then you have the pursuit of that purpose. So that means there are three things there. Number one, purpose. Now, what makes you a leader? You have a vision, you have a goal. So let's not be taking it high. No, you have a goal. So if you wake up every morning and you have a goal, you are a leader. Number two is that you're not just living in that realm of you have a goal of what you want to do. Number two is that you have what we call you're ready to pay the price to embrace. You're embracing the responsibility of that goal to achieve that goal for your day. You remember, I'm using these days so that I can break it down for you. You can easily connect it with everyday life because I love practical teaching. So is the ability now to actually say, oh, I have a goal today. I want to go. One of these my bucket list today is to go maybe drive Tesla car, test it. All right. Now you wake up in the morning and you go to Tesla, this and say, I want to test your car and drive it. You get there. Now you are standing up from your bed, dressing up and all of that. You have taken what we call taking your bait and all of that. You have prepared yourself, you're ready for it. So it means that you have embraced the responsibility of that vision, of that goal. Now, what truly makes a leader is the pursuit of those goals and visions. And the problem is that most people don't pursue. Most people don't. So in the place of pursuit is the place of taking action. So that's why we have so many people who don't take actions. And what makes leaders is the end product. It's not initiating something. It's actually the end product that makes you a leader because it shows us your brainchild and what you have to offer. All right, Dima, I think I will end there for now. All right, so
Thank you so
there's a
much.
lot in my head. I'll end there for now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Oh my God.
Precious. That was really amazing. Thank you. I think one of the things that I love that you said you started with is the fact that our life is an institution. Because it's easy to just think of oneself and then you think of your life as a unit. But knowing that your life is an institution, that means it requires management across different areas. And I think that's very, very important. If one doesn't really recognize that, it becomes very difficult And I think I also love the fact that you said that in terms of strategies for personal development, one of the key areas to work on is our mind, because that's where everything starts, right? That's where it all starts. So thank you so much, Precious. I've really learned a lot. Thank you so, so much. That was awesome. So I don't know if anyone has questions or things to ask Precious. I have a question to ask. So if you have questions to ask, if you kindly raise up your hand so that we could drop in questions. Maybe there are things that you've been trying to do in terms of personal development. Maybe there are pertinent questions in your heart. I just want you to raise up your hand. If you don't want, you can drop a comment in the chat box. So while I wait for for other people, I have a question, Precious. And
All
the
right.
question I have is in terms of self-leadership, right? So I have two questions. So in terms of self-leadership, I think that in my own personal experiences, oftentimes you know what to do, right? You know, oh, this is what I ought to do. How do you get yourself to that place of consistency? I think that's the problem, right? Because it's
Yes.
easy, like right now we finish this session, we're motivated, like I'm motivated. I'm like, oh, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to do this. But then after 1 or 2 weeks, it's like, the flow goes down. So how do you manage that consistency?
Yeah. So number one is you need to have what to call a decision. When I said something, I said willpower. Now you have the human beings have lots of power, but you have what to call a will. Now that will says whether I feel like it or not. See, people say you're too hard. I've heard people tell me to say something like you're too hard on yourself when we're growing up. But today nobody says that again, right? Now you have to be, I want to use that word, hard on yourself as it has to do with the decisions for your life. So that what keeps me consistent is number one, remembering. I don't want to make this look like something that's, like maybe a cliche, but remembering why you're doing this. And number two, you have to actually get positively motivated with yourself, telling yourself that no matter how it is, it's a decision that I will wake up every day and I'm going to do this thing. It doesn't matter how I feel. You make up yourself say, there's no excuses, precious. There's no, I tell myself that every single day. Hi, I'm tired, I'm coming back from work, I'm driving. But there's no excuses, you're shooting that video. There's no excuses, you're going to that meeting. There is no excuses, you're going to go there. So it takes these two things, your willpower, ability to find out why you need to make that happen. I believe that these two things can change the game.
Okay, thank you very much. And the last question I had before I hand over to anyone that wants to ask a question is, what happens when you're doing something consistently and then you're not getting results, right? I think we have a question in the chat box, but then I'll just so what happens? Because I mean, oftentimes you put in your best, you give in all, but then the results are not commensurate to the efforts that you're putting. So what would you advise someone in that kind of situation?
Okay, so it's simple consultation, coaching, mentorship. The problem is this, I'm going to say it because they changed my life. Most people don't understand that there are some people. Imagine, let me just give an example. Imagine somebody is an athlete. They can do anything they want to do. Guess what happened? The club was going to pay expensively for a coach to oversee the stars. Think about it. Just think about it. Just take a moment, think about it. So if you're doing something and it's not working, you try this, you're not seeing results. You don't have, I'm not going to tell you to change it. I'm going to tell you to consult. Now find out this, oh my God, I'm giving out free stuff like this. So find out, find out people that are doing the same thing you're doing. Go and number one is either you serve through collaboration and get into that system and learn how they are doing it. And be very intentional and genuinely ask them that, and genuinely tell the person, this is what I want. I'm telling you, is the easiest way to break out of these things that are not working or not, because it's working somewhere. I'm hearing
Mm,
myself.
mm.
Right. So,
Oh,
so that's it.
I don't know why there's an echo. Thank you very much, Precious. So we have a question in the chat box. In the pursuit of achieving your goals, but you don't have resources, materials, or money to achieve it, what do you do in that instance?
Okay, so this is like very general questions. And one of the things I love is you are talking to somebody who actually also come from that line. They might, you know me, you know my background. So yeah, I didn't fall from heaven. All right. So that is where you need to actually give your mind. I don't know, like for me, I'm very down to earth. So I'm gonna say this to you. I don't know probably what your belief system is like. So you have to have that belief system that these things are not gonna stop you. Like finances. So when you say resources, I don't want to be like I'm coming from a place where we actually give people room to actually, give options. So I don't know if you are saying money or if you're saying clothing or if you're saying the tools that you need to galvanize your dreams. So whatever it is, you have to have that belief system. Now, that's one. Number two is have that belief system that the universe is for you. Oh my goodness. The problem is that most people think that the world is against them. The world is not against you. So have that belief system that things are working for you. Like things are your mind, into your spirit. All right. So have that belief system. Number two, now start building a good support system. All right. So if you have good relationship, try to serve. Because they try to serve, try to tell people about what you want to do. All right. You have to have a good network of friends. I don't know who you call your friends. Have a good network of friends. Talk to them about it. Some of them can be interested in investing. Some of them can even say, okay, I support you with this. I support you with this. I support you. You start from somewhere. All right. Okay.
Thank you very much. That was very, very insightful, Precious. I also wanted to chip in. There are lots of free, and we've all, like Precious said, we've all been there, right? There are times that I'll see an event I want to attend, and then I look at the price and I'm like, ah, God, I beg. So I think that one of the things to also add to that is they are really free. There are things that are free that you can leverage on while you're waiting to get to that point. So for instance, a typical example would be, let's say you want to take a course on Coursera, right? Now, you will see oftentimes they will tell you, oh, enroll, then pay, but you can actually apply for financial aid, right? I have been a beneficiary of that. So when you apply, there's a place for you to write, "Oh, this is how much I earn." So for instance, if you're earning like 50,000 naira, 50,000 naira is like $50. I mean, to them, it doesn't make sense that, oh, it's not reasonable that someone earns $50 per month because that's what you earn working how many hours, right? So when you put that and position yourself in that way, you will get like access to those free stuff. So I think just as what Precious said about your mind, don't let anything stop you, right? I don't have money for this. Those would be like excuses you can leverage on. But there are lots of free stuff on YouTube. There are courses you can edit, even if audit rather, even if you don't get the certificate for it. So I just wanted to chip that in. I think as someone else has a question which is kind of similar to what we asked before, but I want to address it. So for a person who doesn't follow through with their goals, how can such a person change their attitude? So um I think at the beginning of every year we all write, oh, this is what I'm going to do. So for someone who has issues with following through with their goals, what would you say would be a better way to change that attitude?
Simple. Traction. Just keep traction. How do you keep traction? Accountability. Like because of time and all these things. What I try to collapse what I've said today. Like I literally teach some Australian like in their business school. Sometimes they invite me and I teach only these pillars of personal development. I teach it for like 3 days. All right. So one of them is accountability, traction. Become accountable. Just you can let me tell you one easiest way to become accountable. Very funny. Come to your WhatsApp status. Listen to what I'm saying. Just write, I'll be starting to read something in 20. You will see that your spirit, soul, and body, everything in you will be scared because you have just announced to the universe that you're going to start doing this. So that's like one simplest way that you can keep traction. You can actually be consistent. All right. So, and secondly, like I call it your inspiration tank. Like how many people inspire you? Find them. Always watch those people that inspire you. I love technology. Bring out their videos, go to their whatever, follow them. Like I like movies sometimes. I watch Denzel Washington. He's my guy. When I listen to that guy, I'm like shit. Like I want to do more because I see where he started from. So always build that system. Just traction. I have a lot to say about that, but traction is the first thing. Have something
Mm.
that makes you want to do it. Second one is have your inspiration tank where you actually just look at, because you're tired, you don't know how to keep up, but you watch these people, you say, no, 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 I can't be sleeping. Let me go do something. I have it in my own life. I have it. I have where I will enter in my phone, and when I watch 2 or 3 videos, nobody will tell me to go to work, honestly speaking. You know what I'm saying? So it's important.
Thank you very much, Precious. That is very interesting. What you said about accountability. I think that because I mean, on my own, for instance, I'm a co-founder, and our co-founder is also here, OJ, Ojonubo Abubakar. And I think that this is one area of my life that I'm really grateful that I'm working together with her on. Because in terms of getting goals together, oh my God, I can dream of 5 things. I think the other day we were having a conversation. I was like, oh, OJ, we should start doing this one. And she was like, let's do these other ones. So once you have friends or people that can put you like, hold you accountable, that is very, this thing you said you're going to do. How are you go? What's up? When are you, particularly if you're not someone that is so self, you're going to say something precious.
No, no,
Okay,
no.
I
I
thought you
wasn't
wanted
going
to
to
say
say
something.
anything.
Okay. Okay.
I
So
just
that's
like
that.
I wanted to finish what they're saying. Yeah,
Mm. So that's
yeah,
really
yeah.
important. Okay, thank you so much, Precious. So someone else has a question. Um, how can I discover my strengths and leverage on this to achieve success in my career and life? Right? So how can I discover my strength? It's from Edward. How can he discover his strengths and leverage on it? And I think there are two part. He has another question, so you just take all of them at once. So how do I find my life's purpose and align my actions with my values and passion? I know that's quite a lot. So the first question, Edward is asking, how can I discover my strengths and leverage on it to achieve success in my career and life?
So the first question is okay, but it's the second question that will answer the first question. So when it comes about discovering your strength, you have to begin by asking yourself, what is your purpose? Now, the truth is this: your purpose is something that you do every day, but you don't even know. All right. I talk about purpose a lot. All right. So it's something that you are born to do. I'm hearing myself. So it's something that you are created for. All right. Okay. I think it's better now. It's something that you are created, like you are born for. All right. So when I am going to use a practical example, sorry, I'm very practical. This water was made by a certain company. I don't know the manufacturer. Now, this water was meant for one specific purpose, just packaged to serve me this way. So it means that every ability, anything that this water was meant for, was being built into it innately. So there's nothing this water can do outside of it, apart from what it's doing right now. So the manufacturer have checked everything concerning this water and gave me this water, and it's serving me. Now, this is my watch. You have to pay for this water. I just removed it. So this is my watch. This watch right now, the only thing, forget about the branding, is just one purpose: time. It tells me about time. You as a person, everything that you need for your life has been built by God into you. That is why this personal development is very important, self-growth. All right. Remember, I started with a quote. I said something. I said, what you are is God's gift to you. What you become is your gift to God. Very important. So you have to start by asking yourself questions. Okay, what do I enjoy doing? What do I like doing? Assess yourself. There are some tools online that maybe later on I can refer you to, where you can just, they might know what I'm talking about. Personality check. It helps you to know what the things you like and all those things. You discover that some people, they enjoy a lot of things, and you begin to see yourself in terms of, like me, I can't rap. If I listen to rap music, I can't hear anything. Trust me. But I love music. The way I'm wired, I am not mathematically inclined, but I can do mathematics. So you need to know your kind of person is showing all over you and suit it. So one of the things I teach is embracing yourself, and that will help you. Then, so from everything I said, you can see that it has boiled down to finding yourself, finding your strength, and focusing on building it. So the easiest thing is, I don't know what you're doing. If you're working somewhere or something, ask yourself what actually gets you happy, what actually gets you to that place that you're excited about the day. Connect. So we call it connecting the dots. So you start connecting the dots. If I work with you one-on-one, it's connecting the dots to connect it. And at the end of the day, you'll just be looking at yourself this way and be like, is this me? So you find out who you are. All right. And also who you are not, because it's important. I can't
Thank
hear
you so
you.
much,
Okay.
Precious. That was really awesome. Thank you. Thank you. What you said, and it's interesting when he asked the question, I went online to search for a personality test. So when you said it, I was like, oh yeah. So there is this one I just shared, this personality test. Like Precious said, personal development is a journey, right? Precious knows me very well. I am quite, I mean, I used to be quite shy. In fact, I don't like things like this on a normal day, right? I am someone that rather take, the back seat of things. But I think over time, as you grow, as you evolve, you discover new things about yourself that you did not know, right? So for instance, I like this personality test because it shows you it's free, one. So it shows you your strengths. I've taken it before. I also had to take it recently. You find your core areas, and then you even find things that there are things after taking the test I found that I was like, so I'm good in this, and I've been delaying myself like this. So it's a journey, it's a process. And as you keep, and finally, I think that people think of purpose as this very big thing, as you said, but it's something you do every day. I know there was a time when we were doing our undergraduate studies, like purpose was a huge thing. I want to find my purpose. Like, where is this purpose everybody's looking for, right? It seems as if it's so far. But every single day you're working towards it. If you had met me a couple of years back and asked me, oh, one day you have Inspire Her Africa, I kind of knew I liked something like this, but the name was not there. Everything, So meeting and collaborating with, my friend OJ, who is a co-founder, it's not something that I also like had in mind. So every single day you work towards it. So um I think I will take a couple of more questions, then because we have a fun activity that we want Precious to be part of. So one Adedoyin is asking about consistency. I think that when we're having this session that we want to have, right, it will come in. So we'll just keep that Adedoyin. But if it's not answered after that session, then we can take that. So Gift, which is the last question, Gift says, whenever I don't follow with a task, I just get stuck to continue. Please, how can I pick it up from where I stopped?
Come again, please.
Okay, Gift is asking, whenever I don't follow through with a task, I just get stuck to continue. Please, how can I pick it up from where I stopped? So whenever she starts a task and she doesn't follow through, she gets stuck, right? Like, and she doesn't, so she's like, where can I pick up? How can I pick it up from where I started?
So there's a study that Harvard Business School made, all right, on leadership and people starting and people stopping things. So they discovered there are leaders who like initiating things, but they will never finish it. And then there are some leaders who actually likes to they will never initiate anything, but they will be supportive to see that something is being carried out. Then there are also leaders who actually they are very fantastic finishers. Then there are some leaders who are really detailed. They are ready to go all the way out. In fact, if you work with such people, you're gonna get tired. Like someone like me, if you work with me, you're gonna be tired because I don't get like I don't know what it means. I don't work with time most times. I mean, what I mean I don't work with time is like I literally know time, but I would make sure that if I want to do something, I would do it. I would get to the end of it. So it's that best. So now you have to the person that asked that question, find yourself now. Just find yourself. So which one are you? Now, if you discover that you like to initiate things and can't finish things, and you have so many undone projects in your life, all those people that have abandoned buildings in their life, what do you do? Learn how to sediment. So you want to go from point A to point B. Now you have to from that in between that point A, plan the like sediment it like as you're cutting your apple. You can't eat a whole apple once. I'm giving you a very important example. Listen, you can't bring an apple and just put it in your mouth and eat. No. So you have to learn how to chop it down, chop it, chop it, chop it, and plan. Do you know why? If you do it that way and you now look at it and you're like, oh wow, you will discover that you won't be under pressure and you will do everything you're doing excellently. You'll be looking for excellence. You take time to build it. Sorry to say this, Dima. I'm going to be setting up a platform very soon called Options. It's like a channel with TV, and many people are really happy about that. But that studio took us a lot of dollars, like to do, because it took us almost 30 days to set up that studio. All right. So we had to literally be patient. There's sometimes we want to get something, and then they're gonna tell us, yeah, it's not coming to Australia, it's in the US. And then you're like, but I'm supposed to shoot today. Will I stop? No, I'm patient. I know that's okay. I'm giving myself time. So whatever it is, I'm giving you a free call. This is, you just consulted me. I've given you an answer that will set you free. Just plan your things, chunk it down. Sometimes give yourself even space to even breathe and rest. 4 days. You want to do something that will take you just 3 hours to do. And since you're that kind of person, make it one full day, or make it 2 hours or 1 hour every day, or 30 minutes each day. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Precious. That was really insightful. And I think in some areas it's okay at times to stop something, right? And then come back at it later. It's just okay. But when you have a deadline, oh, I want to finish it, just pause. The beautiful thing about it is that when you take a pause and come back again, you have more insight to it. And I think one of the things that would make you not want to pick up from where you stopped is guilt, right? And like, oh, I've not done this. There are times that I wake up in the morning, I have a target, I should wake up as such. As I wake up later, I'm already angry at myself in the morning. Why did I wake up late? Now, starting a day with that kind of mindset, I probably would not have a very good day, right? So it's okay to pause. It's okay to ask questions. Wherever you stop, you can continue much later. Now we have a couple of other questions, but I want us to go to the exercise that we have because I feel that that is going to be a more practical session for us. So I'll be sharing my screen I'll be sharing my screen briefly. So one of the things that we oh okay, OJ, you wanted to make a comment?
Yes, the comments
Mm,
kind of
okay.
portraying what you can be sharing your screen,
Okay,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah. Okay.
portraying what like you guys have just said. I think one of the one answer something you said that stood out for me was when you talked about like not working with time, particularly, and I think it's something that has set me free from even feeling guilt. Like or like not for and also enabling me to pick up where I stop. Because I'm like, there's no I don't wait for New Year's to make resolution. Every day is a new year for me, kind of. So it's like if I realize today that, oh, this is what is going to take me to the next level, I will start now. If I
Uh-huh.
get distracted along the way, because it wasn't even a New Year resolution, it wasn't something like, I mean, I realized that, yeah, time
Mm,
is very important, but it's like, it wasn't tied to essentially the New Year. So if
Uh-huh.
for some reason I'm distracted, things come up, but then I remember again, it's like, I'm going to do it now because it's like, I have to do it, so I will do it. I don't know if it makes any sense, but it's like I've removed
Yeah.
all the time constructs from my life, which is what puts
Yeah.
a lot of guilt and pressure unnecessarily. So
mm,
that's something the
Yeah.
person may want to think about as well. So you don't think about, oh, I've stopped, I've not stopped, this one, that one is it has to be done. So I will do it whenever I should do it. Yeah.
mm, mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Dima.
Yep.
Hello. Hi, Uli.
Okay. I didn't get what you said, sorry.
Okay, so somebody said something that I just want to point out before you
Okay.
start. The person talked
Okay.
about, he said, what habits would you advise people need to develop? Habits, all right? And I just have three things to answer that. It's a very important question. Number one is learn the habit of paying attention. Number two is have ability to respond to your moments. Live in the moment and respond in the moment. Number three is I've learned the ability to reflect. So these are habits. If you can do these three things, it will really help you as regards to personal development. Ability to pay attention to your life, to your day, ability to actually also reflect, and ability to actually respond. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Precious. We have a lot of questions still coming up, and
Yeah.
I love the fact that our session is very interactive, right? So I wish we could talk on, right? And we are going to answer these questions. I don't know if it would be better to run through these questions and then go over to the exercise,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
we
yeah.
just work
Like,
on the
I mean,
exercise.
I mean, from your own end, yeah, I don't know, but for me, like, I created time for this, so I'm watching my time, and I still have time. All right, I still have a lot of time here. So if you want us to answer the questions, we can go all the way.
Okay, all right, fine. Let's do the questions then. Okay, and I mean, if just like OJ also chipped in, if you feel something has worked for you, this is supposed to be a session. It's not like just, on pressure. So if you feel something has worked for you, please feel free to like, unmute your
So
mic
chip
and
in,
then,
yes, yeah,
share with us, share your
yeah.
personal experiences. So, yeah, I mean, what you said about habits is very, very, very important. So a question says, Mary Faith says, I find it very hard to stick to routines. What do I do to change the habit? And I think this goes further with what Adedoyin earlier asked. So she said one thing about personal development is consistency, and consistency seems harder than it sounds. How do we work on our motive towards consistency? So on both ends, they're asking, how can I stay consistent, right? How do I stick to a routine, create a routine, stick to it? I think consistency is what everybody struggles with. So
So if you want to be consistent, the first thing you do is to actually set a standard for yourself, and that is setting a routine for yourself. I know I was rushing when I said that in one of the tools that you need for personal development. You need to actually work with your routine, and that is your time management. It's a very big skill for you. So if you have that in place, it will go a long way. And as I said earlier on, for you to be consistent, you can do your notes part, and every single day you're gonna write the three things that you have achieved for the day. Yes, no, no, don't put yourself under pressure. Even sleeping is part of achievement. All right, resting, yeah, sleeping. I'm not joking. I'm serious. If you work too hard, man, sometimes you need to actually have time to rest, and that rest is for your body. Going to the gym and all of that. So to stay consistent, I've said it enough, and I can say it again. Is number one, the goal you're going for. You have to genuinely want that goal. Why are you doing this? Why am I what is the reward for this? Let that reward drive you. Okay, if I'm able to do this, how am I going to feel? So let that actually drive you. All right. Number two is what I just said, set a standard, have a routine for your life. So if you tell yourself this thing, I want to be doing it so time, we just discussed about it. You can't eat a whole apple, but you can break your apples into chunks and actually eat them maybe 10 days. You can do it in 5 days. All right. So we all have our different strength and energy. So the energy I'm driving at might not be the one you're driving at. All right. I remember when I was quite lazy too in some things in my life at some point. But at the moment where I am right now, I don't need any alarm to wake me up to do things. I don't need a lot of things. I just say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. All right. Because it's one of the things of I'm becoming an adult. So you just take your time, set time for yourself, plan it, if possible, add alarm clock to it. I was writing on the tools you need. I nearly wanted to write alarm clock, because some people need like alarm. I'm not joking. Some people need an alarm clock in their life to remind them or have reminders on their phone. Sometimes you're gonna be like, "Hey Siri, do this for me," and Siri's gonna do it for you. Set an alarm, set reminders for yourself. It's gonna really help you. So I think this is just like a few things I can share that will help you to stay consistent. Then have accountability partner. So when you want to start something, just pick up your phone and say, "Hi, Uli, I'm so happy to have joined this. I plan to start this out." Now watch it. The moment you are telling her, you are actually saying, "I've committed myself to do this," and you don't feel like doing it, but you have to do it because you need to actually show Uli that you are in this thing. You got it. So have accountability. Somebody accountable to that. You're gonna be like, "Please, after 2 weeks, ask me about this. After one week, ask me about this." Don't call me, because if you call somebody like me, I'll ask you. I won't forget. I promise you. In fact, 3 days before the day, I'll just keep telling you, how is it going?
mm, mm,
Because I'm really,
that
really,
is so
I'm really,
beautiful.
I'm really tough. I'm a tough person, so I know what my staff tell me sometimes. It's
That's
all right.
beautiful. What you said about accountability is so like it's very important. You would think that it's not, but it's very important. Mere reaching out to people like I'm doing this stuff. Like Precious said, mere sharing on your status, oh, this is what I want to start doing, right? So don't think about it something that is very far. In terms of time management, I think as you said, I mean personally, I also have my own jotter here. It has my name on it. Just but I have my jotter where I schedule every single hour of the day. The reason is that if you don't have it, a day becomes very blurry in your mind, right? The days I don't have a schedule, maybe I get to the office, I'm like, what am I even supposed to do? I should have planned that a long time ago. I can't come in the morning and like, what am I supposed to do this morning? It doesn't make sense. You can use Google Calendars too. Those are very helpful tools to help you, right? Schedule every single thing that you need to do. I think that would be very helpful. And finally, I think on my own end, I don't know if any other person, OJ, if you wanted to share something else, even when because you're going to have detours, there are going to be moments where you don't achieve some of the things. Get up again. Don't dwell too much on it. Because if you dwell too much on it, you will not achieve that thing. And like Precious said, if having different things in so many directions, when I have a presentation to make, for instance, one thing I do is to break down, okay, what would the first slide look like? Second slide. So day one, I'll work on the first slide. Day two, I'll work on the second slide. Day three on the third one. But if I keep waiting for the day I will sit down, one day I'll just sit down and finish all these things. It becomes very cumbersome. OJ, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, I put in the chat that if it's not on my calendar, it's not happening. And I just remember what happened to me the day before yesterday. So I've been having classes, right? And then I scheduled all my classes into my calendar. And for some very weird reason, I skipped over a class. So I go on WhatsApp and my classmates was like, oh, I missed the bus. I'm going to be a bit late. And my mom was like, what class are you people talking about? Because I didn't put, I mean, we had a handbook and everything, but it's like, I don't live my life by the handbook. I live by my calendar and I have like a routine for everything. So it just wasn't there. I was doing something else. I wasn't like just sleeping or this. And I was actually productive, but I wasn't doing the right thing at the right time. So I think, yeah, it's one of the tools as Precious said. And he already mentioned that you have to, when you wake up in the morning, have a plan for the day. And as I said, time can get really blurry in your mind if you don't like have a plan. So for people saying, "Oh, how do I stay consistent? How do I?" A lot of questions about like get achieving your goal and everything. I think that's just the basics. As a person, as a child, I used to think that routines were pretty boring. Like just doing what you want to do. That's boring. How can you live your life like that? You need some excitement. You need some spontaneity and all those. Well, now I know that.
Sure. Choice.
That is baby thinking. People that get stuff
Mm,
done have routines. Like I look at all the like if you think of anybody whose name you know, you can pretty much have access to how they live their life. Like all of them, from entertainers to scientists to artists, how they live their life is all online. If you are thinking now, how does Kim Kardashian live her life? Just go and Google Kim Kardashian's daily schedule. You will see there, they'll tell you, it tells you when she wakes up, when she goes to the gym, when she if it's Charles Darwin, Leonardo da Vinci, the stuff about how they live their life is there. So if you want to be somebody that is revolutionary, that's just the way. It seems as though it's boring, but your life itself, the results of your life is going to be really, really exciting. And I think that's like the more important thing. So yeah.
mm. Awesome trade-offs. I do watch Mohammed, Precious said something about finding something that encourages you. So I do watch Mohammed Ali's videos on YouTube. I
Mm.
it's so and I think one day I watched a couple, like I felt like I'm ready to conquer the world, right? Because he kept on saying, I'm the best this, I'm the best of this. He works towards it. He works so hard, so hard. And the beautiful thing about this, you may think it's boring now until you get to a point where it stabilizes, right? You find yourself even without thinking you're doing that thing. I wear glasses a lot. So the times where I don't wear my glasses and at times I push it in, when I don't put on my glasses, I notice myself trying to do this. I'm like, there is no glasses there. But that's the thing about because I've done it subconsciously, right? So that's it just comes to my mind I should do this. So that the doing it over and over and over again will get you to that place of consistency. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. Precious, do you want to say something?
Yeah, before we go for the exercise, so what routine does for you is that it's not like it becomes, I know some people can say it's boring. No, it sets boundaries for you. It sets boundaries. I can't tell you the truth. Like, I mean, up till now in my life as a married person, you can't believe that I still wake up by 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. And I have to now make myself sleep back sometimes because I'm at that liberty to actually do that at the moment. So you know that at this time, you're not supposed to be out, no matter what it is for you, because it's your personal value, it's your personal, like your schedule, all right? This time of the day. So it set that boundaries for you. And that is why it's important. It's not like you're gonna it's like if you're gonna wake up by, let's say you're gonna start the day by 9 a.m. It means that there's nothing. If you can start it by 8, 7, but it must not pass 9 a.m. Right. Oh, Abubakar, I enjoyed your commentary. Thank you so much. I hope I'm right, Dema.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you
you
very
are.
much.
I think there's
Yeah.
still one question, Chijima.
Yes. I was going to. So, Upward Grace asked, if you're overwhelmed with about what to really do, when you have a lot of ideas, what should you do? So you have, a lot of ideas and then you're overwhelmed. What should you do?
Yeah, like you guys ask very smart questions. I mean, I'm wondering like where people are, this kind of thing, people don't even attend it. And this is where people's life are changed, right? Even like, I mean, and like, but anyway, we understand this, but now the question you asked is, could you don't repeat that question? I lost it when I was talking.
Okay, so if you're overwhelmed about what's about what to really do, right? You have a lot of ideas. When you have a lot of ideas, what should you do? So you're overwhelmed what to really when you have a lot of ideas. You've told us about brainstorming. So what do we do now?
When you have a lot of ideas about what you have to do, what do? You do nothing. As a matter of fact, you don't have an idea. So what you will now do is that write all those things in a paper. That's why your brain needs a place to write it. Listen to what I'm saying, because Tom Bilayo actually shared. Just write it down. Oh, that's what overwhelmed is actually a very negative one there. Because when you do things when you're overwhelmed, you don't make the right decision. You don't take any, like you're not seeing anything. So it means that you need to find out what let's first of all solve that problem of what is getting you overwhelmed. So yes, I'll brainstorm, write it down in a paper like this and just stick it somewhere. Just leave it. I'm telling you how your mind works, how your brain works. Now, check out if you're influenced by something you saw online, or if you're influenced by friends or peers, just there must be something that is causing you to be overwhelmed. Because overwhelmed comes like I'm trying to meet up, I'm trying to match up, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to, look like it, look the part, do this, do that. And then you're trying to meet up with all of that. And then second point is when you can come by being mentally lazy. So we can be mentally lazy at some point where you're supposed to do this, you're not doing it. Do you know that if you don't keep your room tidy, let me tell you why I understand. If you don't keep your room tidy and you just go out to do your stuff, I promise you, you're going to be overwhelmed. You'll be troubled. And you don't even know because your space in a part of your life is not really good at the moment. And people think it's not normal. Psychology has actually shown it. Keeping your house tidy can go a long way to help arrange your brain cells for your brain to become very analytical to work. Because the brain is seeing it and saying, hey, you haven't done something. You haven't done this one. You haven't done that one. Kill me before I die. You're now overwhelmed. So you can come from that, okay? So let's solve that issue. The moment you get over you get that off your eyes and you're not overwhelmed again. Trust me, you will take up that same thing you're thinking about and you look at it and you can just start from one point. Then when you clear that overwhelm, you now look for one point, just one idea. Because all those ideas are seen are connected. Just pick up one that is interesting to you. Become blind to others. Start working on that one. You will realize that all those other ones will connect. It works every time. They will connect. They might not be the exact way it is, but they will connect. You put them in. All right. So that's how it works. Yeah, I see that. Yeah. All right.
Thank you very much, Precious. What you said about being overwhelmed is it's so true because mentally, once you're like, I have so many things to do, and this is something that I have so many things to do. I usually tell myself I have so many things to do. Starting from that mindset, before I've started doing something, I'm already like I'm done with like my head is in so many places. I'm done. When I actually realize, okay, calm down, okay, relax, take this thing bit by bit. You find out. So everything goes back to what Precious started with your mind, your life is an institution. Your mind is the key place. That's where the execution takes place. OJ, you want to say something? Then we'll move over to our exercise speaking.
Oh no, I didn't. I did not want to cut you, but I was just going to
No, no
say
worries.
yes. That I agree with like what you guys have said, and especially when Precious talked about like first unraveling the overwhelm. I'm somebody that I don't think I do well when I'm overwhelmed. So if I feel like, oh, this is too much, I would rather go and sleep. Like if I feel like, oh, this is so much, first go and sleep for like 30 minutes, then I come back and then I find that it's easy. There's something else I do is to start working backwards, like think about the end result and then start like working forward. So if I have so many ideas, I go to the end and it helps me kind of um filter the ideas. So and helps me kind of give me a starting point because at least it's something I'm already doing. I mean, I think it works in certain instances, depends on what the overwhelm or what several ideas are. But yeah, that's something I wanted to say. And it's something I wanted to point out in case a lot of people have missed it. It's not related to the question, but it's like how both you and Precious have showed us your journals. I'm like, I think it's something that people is very tiny, but it's so powerful. Like for me, I don't have a journal, but I've been taking notes on my phone because I'm trying to go digital. But it's like I already have like more than 4 pages from just what has happened today, at least based on how my the the note taking device splits pages. I'm like, I have 4 pages already. But it's like I'm sure there's some people sitting that may not be taking any notes. And it's like if you're here, and I think it's what Precious mentioned about habits to elevate your life. Said pay attention, live in the moment and respond to the moment and then reflect. Like there's none of those things you can do if you
Mm,
are not taking notes. If you're not taking notes, you're not paying attention, you're not in the moment. How do you reflect? So I think
mm.
it's one powerful thing. It seems minor, but it's something that is very core to personal development that everybody should be doing at every point. So I just wanted to say that. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Uji. That was really powerful. And I think one of the recurring theme here from our conversations is that we think when we're thinking of this whole personal development thing, we're thinking of something huge. Oh, go for this conference, which is good. But you find out that it's in the nitty-gritties, right? It starts with your decision. It's in the little decisions, the little things that you take every single day counts towards it, like OJ said. So when you come to meetings like this, I think I tell people don't just jot because everybody's jotting. I mean, we have all jotters, but we have take
Eva,
action points. Okay, 5 things I'm going to do at the end of this. Number one, I'm going to get a jotter. Number two, for instance, I'm going to start scheduling my day with a Google Calendar, right? These are very simple tips that will change your life. I'm telling you the truth. So thank you so much, everyone. Precious, if I felt like you wanted to say something or
where's no, I have nothing much to say. Where is Abubakar located? Abubakar is in Nigeria?
yes,
Hi, let
OJ.
me
Where is
introduce
Abubakar located?
myself. I can introduce myself. Hi. So I'm OJ. You can call me OJ. Um, I'm the co-founder of Inspire Africa. So I'm currently in the UK. I was a Commonwealth Share Scholar last year. And now I Welcome Trust Scholar. So I'm on my PhD. So happy to meet you. I think we're friends now, right? Let me go and send LinkedIn connection request. And come
I'm
for
happy to
special
associate with
coaching
you.
as well.
I'm happy to associate
Yeah,
with you,
OJ
man.
is
Like
a person of
amazing.
OJ is a person of value, and she has really, I mean, she has really been I mean, she has been so important to what we're doing at Inspire Africa, and I'm really so thankful that we met in a very funny way, but I wouldn't want to go into that because we've told this story all the time.
Nice.
So, to put
Asset.
together everything Precious have said, we decided that it would be fun for us to see. We've said a lot of things, right? We've said, oh, do this, do that, do this. So we're like, okay, how about we do something practical today, right? So we want together, we're collaboratively going to work on developing a 30-day personal development challenge. Now we're supposed to initially the plan was to go into different breakout sessions, but we thought it would be nice for us to have a general session so we can pick the brains of everyone here, right? So we're not a lot, so that can work. So I got earlier this year, I prepared a vision board with a friend, Nguru King, who was a speaker last year. And we did a vision board on Jamboard, right? So we just brought out different things. And we decided for this personal development challenge, one of the things we're going to look at is completing an online course. It's a simple task. And I think a recurrent question has been, how do I stay consistent? How do I do this? I was sharing with the admin saying that I registered for an online course. I did not finish. They kept sending me emails. I had to block their email. I'm like, you people should stop disturbing me so much. But that's not a good way to be a self-leader. So we're going to work like we're not going to. So this could be any 30-day challenge for you. But what we're doing here, what we want to do just with the next couple of minutes, because our time is fast stretched, is for you to see how to actually do these things. So this is a 30-day personal, it could be a 30-day personal development challenge for you on something else. You could pick an accountability partner here today because we intend to build strong communities, right? So our challenge is to the task today is you have an online course you're interested in, right? Or you've registered for, or like me, you've blocked people from sending you emails. So we're going to work towards how do I get from the moment of conception to the process to the end. So I'm hoping we're going to have a very fun session doing it. So what from all we've learned from all Precious have taught us today. So don't fall our teachers' hands. What would be the first thing? Remember, my goal is that I want to finish an online course, say on let's say leadership, right? This is what I want to do. I want to transform to be a leadership coach. And one of the things I want to do is to take a course on leadership because we've learned to build tools, take up tools, develop ourselves. So what would be the first thing if you're conceptualizing this goal? What would be the first thing that you're going to do? I'm waiting for us. Our teacher will flog us if we don't get the answers right.
Please.
You can unmute your mic.
Wait, so I'm coming. I just want to get the background um clear. So you already have the course, right? You know what course exactly it is that you're taking. You have all the background of everything.
So let's say the course is on personal leadership, right? Okay, I want to take a course on personal leadership. So either I want to take, you've registered already, or you've not registered at all. So those are two things, right? So let's start with you've not registered at all. So we'll start on a level ground for everybody. How do I get to the moment of completing this 6-week course? I must add that on personal leadership.
If you've not registered, you register. Oh, someone
Okay,
says being
so
accountable.
okay. So being accountable, should we start? Okay, let's start with registration. Because you're right, we have to start work with that. So why am I not getting the spelling of registration? Okay, so registration, right? So that would mean you looking out for courses, right? So first of all, you're going to start with searching, right? So let's say number one is to search for courses, right? Online, search for courses on personal development. So search for courses on personal leadership or leadership, whatever. So that will be the first thing to do. I will delete this, right? So there are places you can search for, right? You can either search online, right? So let's say search on Google, Coursera, Edu, depends on your budget. There are people that do these courses every day. So I'll go with OJ, what OJ said. So she said registration. Um, and one of the things we said about registration was that if you can't afford it, right, they are paid registrations, which is they are paid for a reason, right? And they are usually good. However, if you're not able to, they are still free online courses. You can still apply for financial aid. So, I mean, do we have ideas for places where we can register for? I know Coursera is one. Do we have any other idea? Precious, is there any place that people usually register for this kind of things? Thank you, Mary Faith. You said registration. So I know Coursera,
There's Future Learn,
uh, okay, Future
Let's
Learn,
let's let's that we
Udemy,
have in yeah, Udemy. Yeah.
edX,
I didn't get what you said.
Udemy.
Okay, yes, Udemy.
Is Udemy? There's edX. There's like data
edX,
camp
yes.
if you're into data sorts of things.
I don't know if it's a correspondent of edX, but
Yeah, that's
that's fine.
edX.
Okay, so data camp. Okay, awesome. So these are
Even LinkedIn
different
Learning.
platforms. What did you say?
LinkedIn Learning.
LinkedIn. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is one thing that I discovered this year. They have lots of amazing courses that will literally blow your mind that you may not even know that they are there. So that's awesome. LinkedIn Learning. Yes. Okay. So thank you very much, guys. So we've registered for this course, right? Remember, we found it's a 6-week course. So what would be the next thing that you would do to get yourself? You can put on the chat box. Number 3. Okay. Awesome. So TJ Sumi said set time for each class. If you register, you allocate time per day for the space of 6 weeks. Awesome. So set times and allocating time. I think probably before I get to that, that's the next thing I'm going to do. What Precious said about announcing accountability. Oh, you can call your friends. Hey, Nkechi, I have I've registered for this course, or you can go on LinkedIn and announce I've registered for so and so course. I'm going to be sharing my certificates with you in few weeks, right? So accountability, then I'll go forward with what you guys said. So setting time and goals. So setting time and goals, right? So suggest to me, you said something about setting time, and Mary Faith, you said allocate time for per day for the space of 6 weeks. I mean, I'm just asking generally, that's awesome and that's broad too. How will you break it down? Because if I say set time, we've talked previously about setting SMART goals. So if I say set time, how will I break it down? Time is broad. Do you want to do it 9 to 10 every day, 2 to 12 every day? How do you break it down to something that is actionable?
I don't want to talk. I want to give people a watch. I think people are typing, so we'll wait for a minute.
Okay. Okay. I love the fact, and the reason why we're doing this exercise is for us to see how to conceptualize things, right? And then from the moment of inception down to the place where, okay, I've done this, and this is what I'm going to achieve. And this is going to extend to anything you want to do, right? So, someone said, depending on how long the course would last. So, how should we allocate our time goals will be dependent on how long the course will last. Okay, that's fine. I think that would also depend on the time you have available. I mean, if you're unemployed, you don't really have a lot to do, so you may have to have more time. Thank you very much, Mary Faith. Does someone else want to add as we round up? Okay, TJ Sumi said it may really work having to do classes in straight hours. We can break it down to achieve times like 2 to 3 hours per day. Awesome. Awesome. Now, one of the things I love about TJ Sumi's comments is that she puts numbers to it. Numbers means that you can measure things. So if I say, I'll read today, I'll read today is not clear. I'll read 4 to 6 hours today. So when you're not reading up to that amount, you know that you're not meeting up. So let's say, for instance, set 2 hours, right? 2 hours per day. So now you are going to have to break it down further. 2 hours per day to read Mondays. What time is it? 9 to 11. Now, this is going to be dependent on whatever you want to achieve. Is it 9 to 11? Is it 10 to 11? 10 to 12? Whatever. Depends on what works for you. Okay. So we've put time to it. What's the next thing we should do? Okay, we have a comment. Yes. So Mary Faith said something about if she reads for straight 6 hours, she would lose focus. Awesome. So she tends to break it down to achieve more. I mean, these things are all dependent on what works for you. I'm the kind of person that I prefer sitting down for, I don't mind sitting down for 6 hours to do something. In fact, at work, people would come and meet me and like, actually, you've been sitting here since morning. I don't have issues with it. I have issues with when I'm leaving all the time, right? But this is beautiful. So do what works for you, right? And that's what Precious said about self-awareness, understanding you. So what would be the next thing we think would help this person, whoever it is, achieve their goal?
I mean, if it's me, the next
Is
thing I'll do is to kind of leverage tools.
okay.
So like maybe use calendar, set
Mm-hmm.
alarm,
Mm-hmm.
notifications, those type of things.
Okay. So Google calendars, alarms, notifications. So what do you do for someone like me now that when those notifications keep coming, you are annoyed and then you block them? How do you achieve that consistency? Because for instance, at times I see notifications, I'll just click and close it. So I'm just being trying to be funny.
No, I think I think that that accountability can still tie in. So you can decide, for instance, to still be posting stuff. Because I know I used to follow some people, they'll do like 100 days of coding. And then every day they will put a picture of what they coded and write a short note about it. So if you really 6 weeks and you want to finish it, then you can do something like that. Oh guys, I'm starting day one. Today I learned so. That should that's I mean, yeah, it's discipline, but that accountability can help you stay disciplined.
Awesome. So I love what you said. So leveraging on the tools together with accountability. And that's like these things are not different. So this could be anything you want to apply for a scholarship, for instance. You're searching out for the schools, you're attending webinars, you're leveraging on tools. I should have made 2 applications. You've set quantifiable measures. I should make 2 applications at so and so time. Leverage on tools to keep markers and then of course still continue with accountability. Awesome. So we're
Yeah,
rounding
sorry.
up very yeah.
I wanted to say one other thing, sorry, about accountability as well. When you were talking about scholarships, it reminded me of something that helped me stay accountable. And I think Precious also mentioned it, and you yourself actually, about staying within your inspiring group.
Mm.
Like when you hear like people that will always keep you motivated, sort of. So for me, it was a group where people will always come and say, "Oh, today I got this scholarship, tomorrow I got this scholarship." So if I'm even getting tired, I'll be like, "People are still getting this thing, so I have to." So if he's listening to Muhammad Ali and being like he's doing stuff, so yes, so yeah, might not even post it, it may just be in that community of inspiring people can help you reach your goal as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Uji. Now we see that accountability is important in all these things because and the thing is commitment. Once you commit to it, you're going to your friends. If you have very good friends and you stay within people, I mean, I also got a scholarship earlier, and one of the things that helped me was that I just kept seeing people all around. The organization I was working at rather, about 2 people left. I was like, hey, people are getting these things, though. So that's something that should be adhering. So I think um I don't know if any other person has something else to say. Sam, thank you very much for your comments. You said one has to be disciplined. The person should be consistent. Thank you very much. You said to me, you said may not really be relatable, but in trying to be consistent, and while it's not easy to be disciplined, to promise yourself something after each day that you may adjust to in the routine in the long run. That is so, so amazing that reward, and I think Precious hinted to us that reward system. I'd and there was a time where I'll tell myself, "Oh, at the end of the month, I'll take myself to Chicken Republic." Now they had a refill max meal that was like I think 1,000 or something. So that was I always look forward once they pay us. I'll just go and relax. That was my way of rewarding myself because I've tried. So it could be something that you could reward yourself with. Thank you so much, Sumi. So, Precious, is there any other thing else you want to add as we summarize? Thank you. I know we've overshot by 13 minutes.
Yeah. Let me. Okay. I think. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes. Mm.
Yeah, okay. So nothing really much. But from everything that you guys have done, especially as it has to do with finding the time to do things. So there's what we call time curve, okay? So when it has to do with time curve, you need to be able to know the time that operates well for you as a person because everybody's different. So if you have a goal like what we're doing right now, which you're setting out for, you want to do a course on social stuff on topics that interest you the most. So you have to find your time curve because time curve works well with personalities. Okay. So if your time curve is you're a morning person, you're an afternoon person, because if you say you want to do 2 hours every day, trust me, right? Trust me, you're not going to stick to that 2 hours. You would
Mm,
compromise particularly. So, but when you have that time curve and say morning is my thing, because you want to do this when is your time and you are inspired and you're motivated. So you find a way to put it there so you're not under pressure or overwhelmed with activities. All right. So for instance, if I'm like me and myself, like let me just say if I'm somebody that is a night person, all right, night person. If I put the activity in the afternoon times, all right, I will struggle with it a little bit because I already programmed myself that I like doing stuffs that really interest me the most at night. All right. So you have to understand that time curve and place it there and do it. And you must not do it maybe a big time. You can start with 30 minutes, work progressively sometimes is a good way to reward yourself to actually, stay accountable to. So instead of saying 2 hours every day, why not say 30 minutes week one, or maybe
mm,
30 minutes day one, next day 45, just increase it progressively, gradually. Yeah. Let it be like an adventure because you want to find adventure in everything you do in life. It's important. It
mm,
makes you stay. I want to go. Like, you're traveling, you're going on a crossroad and all of that. You're like, you want to be so, you want it, but so interested in it, and even help you to keep away from being burnt out with a
mm,
lot of things to do. All right. Because if things are too official, let me say the way we say it here. If things are too official, you burn out, man. You get tired. You want to go into the look for a pool and just jump in. You
mm,
understand?
mm,
So you need to
mm,
make it build adventure around what you're doing. All right. Build adventure around what you're doing. And remember to pay attention. Remember to reflect. Remember
mm.
to actually learn to, live in the moment, like enjoy every moment. And then learn to respond. So that's what I have to say. And thank you everyone for this opportunity. Yeah, and I hope to connect it to people from here anyway.
Thank you so much, Precious. It's been so amazing. And I hope that this session, all you said is really true. And I am I'm sure that we've enjoyed this session. I want us to just, thank Precious. You can put your comments in the chat box. Precious has amazing content on his YouTube channel. So Precious, if you want to share, your the links to your channels where he shares stuff like this consistently about how you can master developing yourself and building yourself. So if you ever find yourself in this kind of situation, right, where you're like, I'm setting up a 30-day personal challenge for something at the end, it could be for a goal, start with breaking it down. So start with searching, register if it's take an action, right? Set goals for yourself, and leverage on tools. You can actually even go to, for instance, Precious talked about chat AI, go to ChatGPT, type in, I want to do so and so within so and so period of time, set a personal development or a timeline for me. ChatGPT will help you to do that, right? So that's one of the beautiful things. Stay accountable, identify a time code for yourself. I really hope that we've enjoyed this session as much as I have. So I want us to really appreciate Precious for taking our time. Thank you so much, Precious. It's been an
Thank
awesome
you,
session
everyone.
for us, and
Thank you
I've
so much,
really
everyone.
enjoyed it.
Amazing. Amazing.
Thank you so
Amazing.
much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, I
Thank
appreciate you
you.
guys. Yeah, thank you. All right.
Thank you. Precious, before you go, we usually take pictures. So if you're in a place where you can, put on your camera so that we would enjoy the moment as Precious had advised us to. So you can turn on your camera. It's okay if you feel like, oh, I'm not looking the best, but we all look good, please. So if you can put on your camera so that we can just take a little picture, mean, you can put it on your social media platform, tag Precious. I was here with Precious. now that you're seeing Precious. Precious is hot cake. So okay, so let's say cheese.
Amazing.
Awesome. So thank you very much, everyone. And thank you, Precious. We do have we do have events that are coming up, so you can follow us on our different social media platforms. That's where we share things that we're doing all the time. Our mentorship program will soon be coming to an end. So if you want to stay updated on what we do at Inspire Her Africa, feel free, to follow us, right? And yeah, feel free to follow us at every point in time. We have another mastery session coming up very soon. You can scan the QR code to has information to all the links to stay updated about what we're doing. If you want to rewatch this session, which I know you would want to, we have a YouTube channel and we're going to be sending that across to you via your email. But you can really just stay updated on our social media platforms to get information on what we're going to do. So rather than sending it to you via email, we're going to share it on our social media platforms. Go to our YouTube channel, scan, follow us. You see other information about previous sessions. So thank you very much. I hope you have a beautiful enriched Saturday and see you all the time. For those that next time, for those that join the WhatsApp group, you'll be getting more information about what we're doing. Thank you, Precious, once again. It's been awesome having this time with you. Have a wonderful Saturday, everyone. Bye.